This is a skateboarding podcast with Kai,
Brody,
and the guest Takumi.
So our overall project purpose for this is to show others why skateboarding is positively affecting our health. The problem statement is the cultural portrayal of skateboarding is negative and skating is not known to be a healthy sport. And the data collection question is our hypothesis, which says that we will burn more than 30 calories and less than 50 calories. And then our skate course that we've designed is the basketball court. And how we'll be doing this is on the right-hand side of the court, there's a spot where we'll be going up and down that 3 times. And then there's some cones on the top part of the court, which we have to weave around. And we have to do a manual from the top left down to the bottom right. And then after we do that, we have to do 3 laps around the court, and then we're allowed to do whatever tricks we want at the end. There's a 3-minute time span on that. And once you're done with that, we will take your calories down with a Fitbit, and then we'll average them up at the end of that. Do you have any questions on that, Takumi?
How do you keep track of the time?
You use a timer.
Okay.
So, tables and charts. So, the last time we ran the experiment, Kai burned 37 calories in 3 minutes of skateboarding. Kain burned 26. Polu burned 50. Kaimana burned 26. And Keanu burned 39 calories. Some of our new knowledge that we've acquired from this is skating began around the 1950s when there was no waves for surfers. In the 1990s, skate parks were banned in the USA, which caused skaters to go out into the streets, which then started street skateboarding, which a lot of people got mad about, and that's how we have that negative cultural portrayal towards skateboarding. Skateboarders have gotten in trouble a lot of this because of disobeying bylaws, restrictions, getting in trouble because of trespassing, and noise violating at night sometimes too. Skaters even face curfews in some parts of the USA. They put curfews on skateboarding outside of parks. The Washington Post even said skateboarding is a destructive activity at one point. And skating was banned in the USA and Europe for quite a while. Do you have anything to say about that, Takumi?
So this is a school project.
Yeah.
How did you convince the staff to actually do this project?
Well, before we came up with this project, there were some kids last year, or the year before, who tried to do the same thing. The school said no. Well, they said yes at first, and all they were allowed to do was do ollies but not moving. So that's the only way they could take their data down. And they really couldn't get the data they wanted, so it kind of just fell downhill. And then we came up, we actually made a consent form and everything. We got all their parents to sign it. And it went very in-depth about having to wear pads, helmets, the safety requirements that we'll be doing. So the school director said yes to this. And so far it's been going good. No one's gotten hurt. So hopefully next year we can keep this project going as well. Yeah.
Nice.
We have been doing 3 tests recently, where we've done skateboarding, basketball, and HIT, which is a very tough running test. HIT is we'd run around the school one time. We'd do pull-ups for 10 seconds and jump on a rock for 30 seconds?
The remaining of your time, I think.
Okay. The average for skating is 30 calories.
Yeah, that was just from today's experiment.
Oh, just for today?
Yeah, that was just from today's experiment. So that was in the guidelines, which we said was 30 to 50 calories.
Okay, so basketball did 49.
Yep. So still in that range.
And HIT did 36.
Yep.
What does HIT mean?
What does it stand for, Kai? Seriously? You forgot what it stands for? High intensity training. That's what it stands for.
I just remember it's HIT.
Alright.
So, reject or fail to reject null hypothesis.
Yep.
So it supports our hypothesis since the average on our calorie burn.
What he's trying to say is that all of our calories have been inside of our hypothesis, which is 30 to 50 calories. So today our experiment landed at perfectly 30 calories, averaged out, by the way. Basketball burned 49, and HIIT burned 36.
The importance globally is to help our mental and physical health. So basically, we're just going to study how they feel before and after the skateboarding experiment, and how much calories, and their heart rate, right?
Yeah, and the heart rate too.
So how do they measure it?
Well, we have somebody's Apple Watch, and what was the other one called? Fitbit?
Yeah. So those track your heart rate, how far you walked, ran. They checked how many calories you burned in that amount of time. And the Apple Watch is kind of neat because you can set a timer on it as well. Fitbit can't do that, so we kind of like the Apple Watch more. But they are a little more expensive, so we've kind of stuck more on the Fitbits. The UN Sustainable Dev Goal for this, so it's kind of like a spot where the government puts this under, I guess you'd say. It's towards more of a healthy lifestyle. We're trying to keep people active on this project because it was to help your mental and physical health at the end of the day. This project impacts the local community because there's actually quite a bit of skateboarders where we live in Hawaii. You don't see them that often, but we're thinking that if you can skateboard in school, we think it'd actually be good for kids because it helps improve their grades. If you're just stuck in a classroom all day, you know what I mean? You lose focus. You don't want to do anything anymore. So it's actually nice to go out and be able to do something else. And it's more fun when you actually get to do an experiment on something you like. So we get to skateboard and we actually get to do it as like homework basically. So it's something fun that we like to do, and we're not allowed to skate unless we have a good grade in that as well. So we have to actually finish our work too. So it helps us work up towards that as well.
So, successfully for our project, we have gone to ride at the basketball court.
Yeah. So that was a very big thing to do. As Takumi asked earlier, how we convinced basically the directors of the school to get us to do that. It took us, like 2 quarters of the school year?
I think 2.5.
Yeah, it almost took us half the school year to get them approved so we could actually start doing an experiment.
We had to make a consent form promising that any injuries involving the kid would not be reliable from the school.
Yeah.
Just by the parents.
Yep. It'd be the kid's fault.
Yeah.
Parents couldn't press charges or anything.
And whenever we'd do an activity, we'd have to wear either pads or helmet.
Yeah, usually both. So the experiment has been successful so far. The experiment design be improved on. How we're taking the data down. So right now we're running 1 person at a time on the skate course. What we'd like to do is have multiple people going down the skate course at the same time. So a little harder to do that since it's kind of, I wouldn't say small, but it's not big either. Kind of riding around. So we'd like to only have maybe split the basketball court into 2 sections, maybe one time, and then try to set up the course as a smaller area, and then run it at 6 minutes rather than 3, since you would be doing half the time.
Takumi,
Court.
do you have any ideas on how we can improve?
Yeah. That's just what we've kind of thought about just now.
I do really like Brody's idea, but half of the basketball court is kind of small, so
Yeah.
I don't think you can really do anything except for like tricks.
Yeah. Because we're trying to, maximize the amount of time we have. Because it takes 3 minutes, but it also takes another 3 to 5 minutes to get all your pads on and get the Apple Watch set back up and whatever.
Maybe we can get another set of pads. Then when someone's riding, the next person could put the next pair on.
Oh, that's another problem. We don't have another pair of pads or helmet either. So it's either you bring your own or you use the sweaty pads that everyone else has been wearing. So it's
disgusting.
a fight for who goes first.
It's funny.
Yeah. So next steps in quarter 4, we're going to end our data analysis and finish our final product. So this is part of our product here is a podcast about what we're doing. And some of our acknowledgements are Jake, one of our teacher's brothers here. He was a mentor. He skateboards as well, so he was helping us out for, a week or 2?
Yes.
Somewhere around there. So he was giving us he was giving us some good ideas as well, helping us out quite a bit. He really liked the whole idea of being able to skate in school. He thought it was a great idea to help kids as well. Takumi, what do you have to say?
I think this is a good project, and the way that you guys came up with this and convinced the staff to do this on campus and in school.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be a good idea if we, instead of skating, we could switch it up next year with a different sport? Do you think that would be a good idea?
Possibly so. I mean, if we don't finish our data analysis all the way and get our final product, skateboarding will probably go on next year as well.
What do you think? Any sports that come up to your mind?
I mean, this campus is pretty small.
Yeah.
Sports will be limited.
It's really volleyball, basketball, skateboarding barely.
You can't really do anything that uses a big area like soccer, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, and some of our experiments too. We never talked about those experimental designs and engineering designs. So we're building a half pipe right now, actually. So we have 3 out of 4 transitions down. I believe next week we're going to be working on more of that.
I believe we're going to start to put half of it together.
Yeah. So we're basically building a quarter pipe right now, and then once we finish cutting out the other quarter pipe, we'll just put them together and we'll have a smaller half pipe. But yeah, it works.
Takumi, have you ever skated?
Yeah.
Is it fun?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. You can have fun when you're going somewhere too.
Have you ever gotten injured?
Yes, a couple of times. Minor ones.
Minor injuries.
Were you wearing pads?
Nope.
Should you have been wearing pads? Did you kind of regret the choice afterwards, let's say?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is probably it.